have a macchiato after lunch, after dinner, and nobody is going to look funny at you. But have cappuccino and you're immediately a turista.
Italian for Travelers, Episode 13, the eating episode. In today's episode, we finally sink our teeth into the delicious world of Italian cuisine, from styles of restaurants to the typical courses you'll find on a menu. Elisa also gives us essential words and cultural tips to impress your waiter and enjoy your meals that much more.
Ciao! Benvenuti a Italian for Travelers, the second season of the Postcards from Italy podcast. I'm Elisa, a native Italian speaker and teacher. Although I was born in Emilia-Romagna, I've spent the last 18 years living in the US and teaching Italian to mostly American students. Along the way, I've learned a lot about what first-time travelers and new Italian language learners really want to know. In short, they want to live la dolce vita glamour, but without the grammar. This season, let's stamp your passport with some Italian vocabulary, cultural tips, dialogues, and practice lessons with my real-life student and friend, Erin. But we only share a fraction of what we talk about on our streaming episodes.
Visit www.postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for our bonus materials and subscribe to our newsletter for updates.
With our podcast and bonus materials, I can help you transform from just another tourist into a curious traveler. Okay. Here we go. Remember, don't worry if you cannot understand much during your first listen. Just relax, sit back, and enjoy la dolce lingua. Ok, cominciamo. Let's begin. Cari amici, benvenuti. Welcome to Italian for Travelers, Lesson 13, Lezione 13, Mangiare in Italia.
This is Eating in Italy.
Esatto.
And it's the first of, is it three? A three-part series?
Yes. We try to contain ourselves and only make it 3 episodes about food.
Yeah, if you like it, maybe we'll make an entire season just about food.
No problem on my end.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we learning today?
So today we dive into one of those topics that for us Italians makes life worth living, and that's food. We wake up thinking about food, we look forward to whatever our next meal will be, and we dream about it too. Because there's only one thing as Italians that we fear more than death itself.
And that is?
And that's feeling hungry.
We have talked about this. I think
see.
Last summer I witnessed Elisa's son saying, I'm not hungry, and the panic in her face. Just for this poor child, it's 2 p.m. He's not hungry yet. He's already had lunch.
È un problema.
Yes, it's a problem.
Houston, Rome, we have a problem.
We have a problem.
So let's start with an appropriate idiom for today's episode. And that's l'appetito vien mangiando.
And that means appetite comes with eating.
Yes, this is an idiom that refers to eating, but not only. And what it tells is like, the more you eat, the more you enjoy it. Or the more you start doing an activity, the more you might find that you like it.
This is a great one. I love it.
Yeah.
I also like that it means we can connect all the other things that we do in life as a passion. Let's just connect it to our passion for food.
Exactly. Yes. So you see why when my son tells me at 2:30 p.m. that he's not hungry, that's a problem. I can tell him, l'appetito vien mangiando.
Yeah,
so start eating. Start having merenda.
Start eating, and then we'll find that you have an appetite.
You'll be hungry by dinner.
Yeah, that your dessert stomach hasn't kicked into gear yet.
Okay, so let's start with our first dialogue. Alla ricerca di un ristorante.
Looking for a restaurant.
Ecco lei, signora. Buona giornata.
Actually, ho una domanda.
Sì?
Let's see. Is there a good restaurant around here? C'è un ristorante buono qui vicino?
Certo, ce ne sono molti. C'è una pizzeria o una pizza al taglio?
Pizza al taglio? Cosa significa?
La pizzeria è un ristorante e la pizza al taglio vende la pizza a quadretti, come un takeaway.
Oh, Pizza al taglio sells the pizza by the square. Good to know.
Sì, se vuole qualcosa di veloce ci sono anche dei bar qui vicino.
Bar? I'm not sure what she said, but I think she's talking about bars. C'è un ristorante tradizionale qui vicino?
Sì, certo, c'è una piccola trattoria, il Melo, gestita dalla famiglia Bianchi. Sono andata a scuola con Massimo, il loro figlio. È buona ed economica.
Trattoria Il Melo?
Sì, signora, il melo è qui vicina.
Fantastico! Grazie mille!
Later at the Trattoria Il Melo. Buonasera, signora.
Buonasera! Let's see. I want a table outside. Un tavolo fuori, per favore.
Sì, signora, questo va bene?
Sì, grazie. And now let's see some cultural notes about eating in Italy.
Italians, as you may know, are very passionate about food. We consider food to be one of the biggest pleasures in life, not only because of the variety of flavors and combinations that it allows us to experience, but also because of its social aspect. We like to say that a tavola non si invecchia mai.
I love this one. I love it. And this one means at the table, one does not grow old.
Yes, because when you're surrounded by good food and good company, time just seems to stop. It's only natural, therefore, that we would have an array of eating establishments scattered around every city and every little village of Il Bel Paese, because there's only one thing that Italians fear more than death itself, that's feeling hungry, as we mentioned.
So here's a preview of some of the different types of restaurants that Italy offers.
Esatto. Let's start with ristorante.
So a restaurant, easy.
Esatto. Restaurants in Italy come in all shapes and sizes. Some are cozy with a relaxed atmosphere, while others are more formal and cater to a clientele looking for a fine dining experience. In general, a ristorante is more expensive than other eating establishments like a trattoria or an osteria, and it will serve high-quality Italian or international specialties. At a ristorante, you can expect full table service and multi-course meals. In a smaller and less formal ristorante, you can get away with ordering just a primo,
which is the first course,
and say a dolce.
And so that's a dessert.
But in a more formal one, you may be expected to order every single course. Antipasto,
Appetizer,
primo,
the first course,
secondo,
second course,
contorni,
side dishes. Okay.
and dolce,
the dessert.
plus bevande.
Very important. Those are the drinks.
Yes. Please avoid any restaurants or any eating establishments displaying red flags like checkered tablecloths and menu translated in several languages. These are classic tourist traps that are not interested in serving quality food. For recommendations on where to eat like an Italian, keep reading.
Well, I do want to say to our listeners, if this is your first time going to Italy, and Rome in particular, I do like the small, homey, more Italian establishments, but I've had some really good meals at some of these tourist traps too.
Oh, really?
I have, but I'm also not Italian, so maybe my taste is not as discerning. But I have getting off of the plane and getting to my apartment in Rome, being starving and going to the first place that I see, like next to like a laundromat. I have had some excellent meals. So
good for you.
Yeah, I think maybe either I got lucky or something. But so
or you were very hungry from the plane.
Well, maybe I just had like a little pizza. But I just don't want to scare away listeners just in case. But we also want for you to be able to experience Italy at its very, very best.
Esatto.
So if you do see the red checkered tablecloths, but you want to invest a little more time into peeking around the corner and maybe finding something a little off the beaten path. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be wary of, restaurants that display these red flags, especially when they're conveniently located just across from a major site.
Yeah, like the Pantheon.
Il Pantheon or Piazza della Repubblica. You don't want to do that because those are obviously just catering to tourists. They don't care if you're coming back.
Yeah, and I also want to point out, this is so funny and it's obvious, so just bear with me. When we say red flags, they don't have an actual red flag outside.
No, but they do have red checkered
tablecloths. It's kind of like a clue or a hint that it may not be as authentic. I guess authentic is what we're looking for. So, and if you're going to Italy, we would love for you to try some of the authentic.
Oh, yes, please do. Where you want to have a nonna or a moglie, like a grandma or a wife, like cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's so special. And that's something that you're going to remember forever.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions for you about a ristorante. I think you covered this a bit, but so when you go into a ristorante, you're expected to order multiple courses. And again, it depends on the place, right?
Yeah, it depends on the place and depends on how many people you're going with. So if I go out with a group of friends, yeah, most likely we'll have like the full meal. Sometimes it's decided ahead of time that you're going to go there for the full meal, like with all the different courses. If I'm visiting, a town that I've never been in and I just want a quick lunch, I'll have whatever, a salad or a primo and a cafe maybe. I think a good idea is always to pick 2 courses. Again, like an entree and a salad, or a salad and a secondo.
Okay.
Or an entree and dessert, appetizer and secondo, whatever. Like that's a good balanced meal. We'll see why. Like it's also necessary sometimes to pick 2 entrees rather than just one
So
dish.
that's going to be coming up. Sometimes I've been in establishments and I will adjust my order based on the body language and that I'm getting from
Il cameriere.
Yeah. So if it looks like I'm just ordering like a salad and a first and maybe I haven't ordered a meat course, then there's if I see that the face of my waiter waitress is changing and they're kind of like a little confused, then sometimes I'll just go with it and I'll just order a little extra.
Yeah,
and I
read the room.
Yeah, I read the room.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And also literally when in Rome, I feel like it's okay.
See. You know what? And it also depends on where you are, what meal you're having. Like I remember having a large salad for lunch in Umbria on a day where it was extremely hot. And nobody's going to put you at fault for ordering just a large salad.
Oh, gosh.
Even for lunch when it's 43 degrees outside Celsius.
What is that in Fahrenheit?
Something like 120?
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but I think it's something.
It's 150 degrees outside.
It feels like 150 because the humidity. So there are also cases where people are not going to judge you.
Yeah.
But if you're going, say, for dinner and you just order a tiny salad, yeah, that's not.
Yeah. Then maybe choose a different restaurant type or a different eatery type.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe don't go to Italy.
Wow. She didn't really say that. So what would a typical Italian lunch or dinner look like? Like what would you yourself get for each course? I'm just saying like if you were at a typical Italian restaurant.
Yeah. We'll talk about this, in the next lesson. But for me, a typical lunch, una pasta and then verdura, whether salad or verdure grigliate, grilled vegetables.
Okay.
That's it. Acqua. I don't really drink wine. So
wow.
I'm a typical.
I'm taking away her Italian card. Done.
My husband makes up for it.
Yeah, okay, good. He's honorary.
I don't want to rat him out, but
yeah.
He drinks the wine that I don't drink.
So what's our next type of eatery?
Our next is one of my favorite, pizzeria.
Pizzeria.
In Italy, a pizzeria not only serves pizza, but you will find that some restaurants will have a pizzaiolo,
a pizza maker,
on the premises and serve pizza as an option. In a pizzeria, every guest gets their own individual pizza and is expected to eat it in its entirety using a fork and a knife.
And when you go to Italy for the first time and you encounter the personal pizza that you've ordered and it's the size of your table and all you get is a fork and a knife.
As an Italian, I'm very happy if it's the size
of my gosh. Table. They're always bigger than the plate.
You know what? Actually, a few years ago, it was very trendy to order la pizza stesa.
Stesa, what is this?
Stesa, like flat out. Like in terms of dough, maybe it means like rolled thin. So yeah, your pizza was several inches larger than your piatto, your dish.
Oh my gosh.
So, but remember, it's the same amount of dough, but stretched thinner.
Right.
It was my favorite.
That sounds so good.
But yeah, it looked as big as the table we're recording on right now.
Oh my gosh. I know. Imagine 2 people at a small table, each with their own pizza. And you are expected to eat the whole thing. I mean, some people fold it.
Yeah, some people do. I would say as a rule, use your fork and knife. Also, pizza dough is much thinner in Italy than it is in the US. So if you don't cut it, the topping might fall out. Because it doesn't offer as much resistance. But
the olive oil. I remember the first pizza that I had in Italy when we moved to Naples. I was a teenager, and there was so much olive oil that
On top?
well, it's sort of like pooled in the center.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's, I think, from mozzarella also. Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah. So yeah, you may have to use fork and knife to eat it. Again, you can also read the room. Some pizzerie are a little fancier than others. So you might see other people pick up a slice of pizza with their hands and just eat it with their hands. I prefer fork and knife just because it's easier and my toppings don't fall off. But
I think that's a great cultural note. This is so silly, but it does feel fancier. And again, when in Rome, when in Italy, like it's okay for us to like set aside maybe our cultural norms here in other countries.
yeah.
Well, kind of get into it. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and you know what? We're just about to give you an option to eat pizza that's not eaten on a plate.
Okay, tell me about
fork
that.
And knife.
That might be an even better option.
Yeah, that's pizza al taglio or pizza al trancio. And this is an informal establishment found in town centers and malls alike where they sell pizza by the slice. Slices are wrapped in a piece of wax paper or served on a paper plate when the pizza al taglio is located inside a mall. Italians often buy pizza by the slice for a quick lunch or a snack, and they typically eat it while standing or while walking around the town center.
This
is like Italian street food at its best.
So good. It's so delicious. It's almost like an entirely different animal than going into a pizzeria. Yeah.
Pizza al taglio, like the square, is really a different animal because it's fluffier, it's thicker, but at the same time so doughy.
That brings me to my question for you. I have a question here about, is pizza al taglio less expensive than buying pizza at a traditional pizzeria?
No. So comparatively, no.
Okay, why?
Because they're going to sell it to you by weight.
Oh, so that big fluffy dough comes into play here.
Weighs a little bit more. So let's say with 2 or 3 squares of pizza al taglio, you may just be full, completely full. Just because, yes, it's fluffier, there's more dough in there. And, you know, it's just also a better business for them. Yeah. They charge a little more. Let's say, I would say pizza al taglio costs, depending on where you are, of course, in Italy, but it could be between 5 and 7 euros per square.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the same price can get you a simple margherita.
Oh my gosh.
Pizza at a restaurant. You know, of course, it depends in Italy where you are. Because if you're in Milan, you're not going to pay the same as if you are in Otranto, in Puglia, or in Sicily. But just to give you an idea.
That's actually really helpful because maybe if you're walking around, you're sightseeing, and you see an establishment for pizza al taglio, you think, oh, it's less expensive, it's cost effective, I'm going to go there, and then just sort of eat while I'm walking. But maybe for the same price, you're able to go into a pizzeria.
But you know, there are, I agree. But there are times where having pizza al taglio is just more convenient. You know, if it's one of those days, whether you're a tourist or an Italian even, like where you don't really have the time to stop and sit down for a longer lunch and you just need to get whatever to your next class or to your next guided tour, pizza al taglio is a great option. And it have the benefit of offering toppings that are classic pizza topping, like margherita, so tomato and mozzarella. But sometimes you find like unusual combinations.
So I was going to ask you about that. If there is a typical
there are. I mean, you can also find interesting combinations sometimes at a proper pizzeria. But I think with pizza al taglio, it's more common to have fancy stuff like, you know, pancetta and grana.
Oh, gosh.
You know, like
so good.
Pancetta and cheese or pumpkin and sausage.
Oh, gosh.
You know, so yeah, it's a different animal.
I don't like it when we record during lunchtime. It's very difficult to record this during lunchtime.
Are you hungry yet?
No. Well, I will be.
You'll be by the end of this.
Let's go. So what's another option? You have plenty here.
Oh, certo. So trattoria is our next option. And this is a less formal establishment than a ristorante, and it's generally family run. Back in the day, trattorie used to be a common choice for travelers and workers because they represented more affordable alternative to a ristorante. Overall, in a trattoria, you can expect to find a simpler yet welcoming ambience, informal service, and an array of delicious specialties and wines that are specific to the area. Dishes are prepared in a homemade style using locally grown ingredients and recipes that may have been passed down through generations, which is awesome. real trattorie and osterie are true gems of Italian gastronomy that every food enthusiast should explore. And that's my honest opinion.
I love
a trattoria.
I love this. Yeah.
That's where you find the wife of the family, the grandma, in the back in the kitchen, cooking up your meal that you're going to eat. And like we just said, it's oftentimes from family recipes that are typical of the area. And some of these places make some of the best local food available. And prices tend to be a little more affordable than a ristorante because the ambience is more, laid back, not as fancy. So I love trattorie with all my heart.
So if we're in a more metropolitan area, some ristorante may call themselves trattoria. So you might see that name, and it's sort of a misnomer. But maybe off the beaten path, when you see trattoria or osteria, taverna, it actually means something different.
Yes, we'll see this, unfortunately, with osteria as well. It has become trendy to name your place osteria, taverna, trattoria, but then you go in and you find they're anything but, they're fancy restaurants, too stylish for what a trattoria or an osteria typically is, and they charge you accordingly. So that's where good old Google comes in handy.
Yeah.
A TripAdvisor. If there is a trattoria in a metropolitan area, which can happen, because, people and workers have to eat anywhere. Students, just, look up online, see the reviews, talk to the owner of your hotel that you're staying at and see what they recommend. You can find good trattoria and osteria even in a city center.
You're going to hate this, but when I was a teenager, I was living in a different place. This wasn't in Italy, this was somewhere else. And there was a small trattoria, and it was called La Trattoria.
See?
And all of us called it La Trot.
Sounds like a trout.
No, it sounds awful. Whenever I think of trattoria, I'm like, oh gosh, the mispronunciations my entire life. La Trot. So try to find the trot.
Yeah. Il trotto sounds like a horse. But
okay, so you've only mentioned to us about the trattorie. I'm super curious about other establishments that you want us to check out while we're in Italy.
Yes. Please, if you can, check out an osteria or a taverna.
Okay, what's that?
So back in the day, an osteria was an inn where travelers and locals could find a place to stay overnight, as well as simple homemade dishes and good wine, especially with an osteria. That wine was their big thing. Tables were communal, and people would gather around them in the spirit of good company. Modern osterie are small, informal restaurants where you can find affordable wine and food in an unassuming but welcoming atmosphere, so similar to a trattoria. Menus may be written on a piece of paper or on a chalkboard, and will usually feature a small selection of simple yet delicious local dishes. Be aware that nowadays some ristoranti will use the names trattoria and osteria for the cozy, authentic atmosphere that they evoke, while serving foods that are more appropriate for a fine dining experience with prices to match.
Okay, so that's
what we were just
so
talking
again,
about.
Take a peek online if you're curious. If you really want to find something that feels more authentic.
Yeah, and if it feels too fancy, if it has bells and whistles, it's probably not an authentic osteria, taverna, or trattoria.
One of my favorite memories of traveling in Italy actually happened during an extended stay in Cortona, which I know sounds like a dream, and it was. When a friend of mine pulled me into a tiny trattoria, and there were only 4 or 5 tables, and there were 3 different generations of women cooking in the back. There was the grandmother, the mother, well, she wasn't cooking, but like a baby that was in a high chair watching. Maybe there was like an additional like nonna or bisnonna. But how could you know from a sign whether or not the establishment is the real deal or a tourist trap? If you see that, you know it's real. But
I would say if there's a waiter outside stopping all the passerbys, inviting them to come in, and the menu is written 5 languages, like we always say, and there's pictures of the dishes that you're going to eat next to in the menu, and the tablecloths are checkered red and white. Those are red flags. This is probably not
Not where you want to go.
Yeah, not where you want to go.
I also had like another experience with your friends. You'll have to remind me of the name in Emilia-Romagna.
Antonella e Silvia.
Yes, and that was where they took me.
Bertinoro.
Now, is that an osteria?
That one is La Cadebe, which is an osteria, trattoria.
It was the best wine. It
was
the best atmosphere. And
the Cadebe in Romagnolo dialect means the house of wine.
Oh, gosh.
And Bertinoro, the little town, is famous for its wine.
And Bertinoro, what does that mean?
Drink you in gold.
Yes! And so when you talk about travelers stopping for the night, that reminded me of this memory because Emilia-Romagna is known for being a very welcoming, hospitable place.
Yes.
Of every region in Italy, that's the one that is the most welcoming. And I know that from you. And the town is known for hosting and being welcoming to travelers. And so it doesn't surprise me that there is an establishment like that. And the food was incredible, and long communal tables, and it was incredible.
Yeah, and that's like some of the most authentic food you can find in the area.
Yeah, I feel like we could have slept there at the table. We ate so much.
I might have fallen asleep at Cadeve
when
I was younger, but
we drank so much, and I was there with my daughter, who at the time was probably just shy of 18, and of course the aunties that see it were like
baby,
yes, like, oh, but it's okay. She's older than most Italians when they start to drink, so like we were all just so happily drunk and fed, and
yes, you'll find wonderful osteria all over the country. But yes, this one specifically from my area it's
so special.
Yeah, it's a gem. It's truly a gem.
So special, and that is something that I wouldn't have found it without them, your friends. And it's a memory that I will always have of that night. If I had gone to some place that just had, a typical menu, the food would have been fine, but it wouldn't have been a magical experience.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Well, it's because of you. It's because of you. So are there other places where we could eat?
Ma certo.
Oh, okay. So there's more.
We have eateries in every corner.
Everybody unbuckle one belt loop.
Just, when you're traveling to Italy, just bring the large pants.
Oof.
And make sure that your belt has extra holes. Okay, so let's look at agriturismo.
Ciao, it's Erin. We're fading out here so that we can keep our free streaming episodes a reasonable length of time. For additional bonus audio and all kinds of other bonus materials, head to our website. Now back to the show.
And now let's go to our first glossary of this lesson. Parole ed espressioni essenziali sui ristoranti.
Key words and phrases about restaurants.
Simple communication is our goal. Therefore, we often provide the default masculine form of a noun or an adjective, and we prioritize formal communication over informal, unless otherwise noted. Don't worry, Italian speakers will still understand you.
Restaurant.
Il ristorante.
Pizza restaurant.
La pizzeria.
Pizza by the slice.
La pizza al taglio or la pizza al trancio.
Traditional family-run restaurant.
La trattoria.
Inn.
L'osteria or la taverna.
Working farm.
L'agriturismo.
Cafe.
Il bar or il caffè.
Traditional takeout shop.
La rosticceria.
Sandwich shop.
La paninoteca.
Wine shop or bar.
L'enoteca.
I'm hungry.
Ho fame.
I'm thirsty.
Ho sete.
Is there a restaurant near here?
C'è un ristorante qui vicino?
Good.
Buono.
Traditional.
Tradizionale.
Inexpensive.
Economico.
Vegetarian.
Vegetariano.
Vegan.
Vegano.
A table for 2 or 3, please.
Un tavolo per 2, 3, per favore.
I'm by myself.
Sono da solo or sono da sola.
Is this table free?
È libero questo tavolo?
I have a reservation.
Ho una prenotazione.
A table, please.
Un tavolo, per favore.
Outside.
Fuori.
Inside.
Dentro.
By the window.
vicino alla finestra. And now let's put all the vocabulary you've learned in our first glossary into practice with Lessico in pratica.
Vocabulary in practice.
Sì. Practice saying these things in Italian. So, Erin, come si dice, how do you say, is there a vegetarian restaurant near here?
C'è un ristorante vegetariano qui vicino.
Bravissima. Perfetto. And yes, Italy does have some vegetarian restaurants.
What about vegan restaurants? Vegano.
Yeah, a few.
A few.
Yeah, it's becoming more known. A few years ago, they would serve prosciutto and call it vegetarian and vegan, but no. Nowadays, it's more common. Erin, come si dice the inn?
L'osteria or la taverna?
Brava. A table for 4, please.
Un tavolo per 4, per favore.
Bravissima.
I like that one because I'm just connecting little building blocks.
Yes, you were working with the Legos.
Yes.
In Italian. Yes.
Perfect.
Come si dice, I'm hungry?
Ho fame.
Eccellente.
Okay, and so we'll be back the next time with part 2 of our food episodes.
Yes, lesson 14, we're going to teach you how to eat like an Italian.
Okay, can't wait for that.
Certo. Ciao, it's Elisa again. As you can tell, Erin and I love to talk about what travelers can expect when they visit Italy. Not just language, obviously, but with the culture, food, and so much more. In our free streaming episodes, we only scratch the surface. But in our bonus materials, you'll get access to everything, including transcripts for each episode, as well as translations, vocabulary lessons, and cultural tips from today's roundtable. Visit postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for details. Have the confidence of an Italian even in simple conversations and everyday situations. With our bonus materials, you'll get ad-free, full-length audio conversations, practice exercises with written worksheets, and bonus graphics that decode gestures, road signs, and menus.
Our premium subscribers get one additional bonus not found anywhere else. For our Italian for Travelers family, we've created uninterrupted glossaries for each episode that include the English word or expression, followed by the Italian version, which is then repeated so that you can listen and learn, practice, and repeat. These no-fuss listen and repeat glossaries take the drama out of learning travelers' Italian. Listen in the car, on your morning walk, on planes and trains, even while doing dishes or making dinner. Each episode's glossary file features all of the mini glossaries in that lesson, so you can focus on the terms and situations that matter most to you, like food, shopping, or sightseeing. This is only for our Season 2 bonus material subscribers, so sign up today.
If you're an intermediate learner, you may also love the lessons in our Season 1 bonus materials, so check out our website. Visit postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for details. Postcards from Italy is a labor of love, connecting different cultures as we explore the dynamic nature of modern Italy through its language.
And remember to follow us on Instagram and sign up for our emails to stay updated on webinars and classes.
Thank you for listening. Non vedo l'ora di incontrarci di nuovo.